Nous pensons que tu choisiras mieux que nous. Il n'y a pas de douleur. Ils ne se rendront compte de rien.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I got a new mic, so hopefully I'm sounding well. As well, I got a screener. I got a screener from Leo this week, and he sent me Meanwhile on Earth. And this is a 2024 French film, so it does have a French title, which is Pendant sur TEMPS sur TERRE, which translates about the same, I think. And with this movie, it was directed by Jérémy Clapin and stars Megan Northam, Nicolas Avini, and Sam Lewitch, among others, of course. So what is the story of this movie? Well, with this one, it follows this, I guess, early 20-year-old woman, and she has a brother who's an astronaut. However, he gets lost in space. And so she kind of gets this signal and, put something in her ear, and then these aliens start talking to her. And they actually promise that they can bring back the brother from outer space, but she has to help them come to Earth. And there's only 5 of them, or at least that's what they've promised, and they're not going to, take it over or anything like that. So she believes them, well enough, so she starts doing their commands. And her commands are to, take people into the woods, and then they get, brain fried by these aliens. So, who will she take out there and what will happen? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss about Meanwhile on Earth. Well, with this one, it is a French film, so, you have to read subtitles. But for the most part, it's a low-budget sci-fi film that I think has some stuff going for it. I certainly thought the mystery of it all was very interesting, at least got me into it. What are these aliens up to? What are they, looking for? What is their motivation? Are they really looking just to, go to Earth instead of, take it over or something like that? So that's all kind of interesting. The other thing that it does kind of, ask of the audience is a moral question. If you had to choose 5 people, who would you choose to kill? Or at least not kill, but, get brain blasted, and then they are, taken over by the body snatchers. So do you take old people? Do you take young people? They even have a discussion about, maybe we should do, I don't know, disabled people or something like that. And so there is this moral question that is, posed to the audience, and it just adds certainly another layer to it all. Other than that, it does have, beautiful scenery and is well shot for the scenery. Most of it's this, a forest or, driving through a town or something like that. But it's all, shot well. I thought the acting, since, it's all in French, and I do speak a little bit of French, but they speak a little bit faster than I'm used to. And so I think the actors do certainly a good job. They, look intense or, whatever it is that they're, trying to emote at that time. So that's good as well. So the technical stuff, yeah, certainly does work in this one. What else? Overall, I kind of just enjoyed going along with the main character. I think her name is Elsa in this one. She works at a retirement home and, does stuff with the retirees. And I don't know, just kind of her life in general is just fun to just go along with her. It's a really kind of easy watch that way. Certainly allows you to escape your own life and just, go along with hers and have this moral dilemma along with her. So the characterization, of the character, how she develops, I thought was good. And what else? There is, one part that certainly is uncomfortable with some kind of sex crime stuff, but that's dealt with in a minute. So for the most part, I'll say that for the most part, it's fun to just to go along with her. And I think that brings me to what doesn't work with this one. Well, I would say kind of by the end, I was getting exhausted of the moral dilemma because it's every character. Every time she picks someone up to, take them into the woods, it's oh, do I really want it? And then she starts asking questions, and then it just goes kind of downhill from there. So I was just kind of getting tired of that moral dilemma being happening over and over again. I thought also with the ending, it kind of leaves it ambiguous to actually kind of what is actually going on. And I just didn't really enjoy the ending and how it kind of turned out. I won't give it away, but it wasn't the choice that I would make. It kind of made it seem more of this could happen to anyone, or it's much more of an ordinary thing to experience this adventure. And I don't know, just kind of, I thought kind of undercut some of the other aspects of the movie. So yeah, that is in there as well. What else? This movie has that kind of sci-fi element to it, but it's very kind of ordinary when it comes down to it. Like, she just hears these voices in her mind after putting this little like bean thing in her mind, and that's really like the only sci-fi, thing that you actually see. Other than that, it's this, kind of the metaphysical aspect of it. So if you're looking for, lots of sci-fi things, it doesn't have many. In fact, it only really has one, and it's like something that passes by in 5 minutes. So yeah, there's not too much sci-fi stuff in this sci-fi film. As for a recommendation, well, I would say sure, if you want to press play on this one. Like I said, it's kind of an easy watch. Just go along with Elsa, have this little adventure, and, go along with it. So if that sounds like something you want to do, then sure, press play on this one. As for a rating, well, I'm going to give it the score of 5, because ultimately, I thought it was kind of average when it came down to it, or at least, when the final credits rolled. That's what I was thinking. So, yeah. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.